Coach, playoff fever has come to upstate New York, and there's a look at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Taylor. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And the Jets first down.
Down. Mark 54. Not today, you are. Not today. Rush in. Rush in. Now.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Here we go. A gain of 12. First down, New York.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Complete. It's Johnson. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Taylor. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 34 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Wait, 10. Wait, 20. Watch the slat. Watch the slat. Watch the slat. When he hits.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Jim.
On the ground, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Wait, Mike 50. Push him back. Sugar.
Shotgun now for Brady. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Let's go.
Let's go. 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Quick dash. Here we go. Put it to check over. Watch out. Check over.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I'm here all day.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up second down. To throw, it's Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Shadow! Hey, zoom! Mike's 50, Mike's 50! Rabbit!
Throwing is Brady on third down. Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll go to Pirine, trying to pound it in. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Jets will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Mike's 50! Hey, Mike's 7! Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, yo. I'm coming after you. Hey, check it. I'm coming after you. Check it. Hey, Alabama.
From the 29, Brady. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Check nickel.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
Wait, 29, Alpha.
Now on 2nd and 13. Brady. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 15-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Mike's rip.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Check 37. Check. Fresno. Topper.
They'll run it with Kamara, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Punching it in from a yard away as they are now on the board here in the first half. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Check.
Here's Taylor. Going to throw again. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
It's a gain of 20. First down, New York.
Let's go now. 18 data. Check.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Hey, watch the ball. Hey, alert three.
Taylor. It's caught. Smith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 32-yard line. On the ground, Michel, and only able to get two here, stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Hey, Mike 51. Watch the screen. 51 to Mike, boy, 51.
To throw is Taylor. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be second and 11.
At the 22-yard line.
Wait, 20. You can't block me. Switch. Wait, 28.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. He's got his man, it's Andrews. He's got daylight, and he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play here for Buffalo, 46 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
He's checking. Crash. Switch.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the Jets' 31-yard line.
Wait, set. Round 80. Round 80. Here we go. Gold 50.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 22.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
The Bills on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Wait, set. 53.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Gold 50.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
No lack of guts at all on that one. Normally in this situation in the red zone, that type of play isn't run, but I think they're trying to catch the defense off guard and also break tendency. No one really runs that type of a play. Guess what? We are. Let's see how you handle it.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Motion. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Switched on travel. Shadow.
They run. It's Kamara. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go one more. Bang, 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 bang.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 25 on second down, Brady. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From midfield, here's Brady. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, but it'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Sony Michel, 52 yards. And the Jets will extend their lead. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 21-7. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hey, Alabama. 50.
Here's Brady. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Go! Hey, we got Mike 50, huh?
Defense wins championships, baby.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike 53, Linda! 50. I got him.
Hey, Mike's 50. Silver.
From the gun, it's Brady. He's going to launch it for Washington. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Wait, 20. 50. Mike 50.
All day.
Shift. Watch the shift. When he hit.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Back at the 40-yard line.
Wait, 53.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Say. Check.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Cover.
Operating from the gun, Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Montez Sweat coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Check.
Taylor to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Taylor. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Wait, that 29. Alpha. These babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
72. Here I come. Here I come.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brady. And I think the ball's out. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I got you. I got you.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor going for the deep ball. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 36 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Here we go.
And they will run it with Michel. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Sony Michel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets will extend their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. Some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. O'Shane Ximines showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey, Alabama.
Now Brady. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check 52. Check it, reload. Hey, orbit. Mike's 50. I got him. Ozzy.
From the gun, Brady. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Brady, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Brady gets this one to Hill. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the gun, Brady. And going deep for Hill. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 42 yards. And the Bills get a bit closer. And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they just went 4 verts there against cover 2, didn't they?
They did, and it's really an excellent route versus cover 2 because the longer it develops, the more stress is put on the safeties because they're the ones back, each with half the field responsibilities. The corners don't retreat very far in cover 2. They're closer to the line of scrimmage, so now you've got 4 receivers putting pressure on 2 guys covering. Usually you'll find someone open, and that's exactly what they did there. Made the catch and carried it all the way into the end zone.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Night, sweetheart.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
On the ground is Michel. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Pull it together.
Now Taylor. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. On the ground, this is Michel. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Brady now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Brady. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Looking back to the air on 2nd down. It's Brady. Complete to Washington. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Bills on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Brady going to go on 4th down. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Shotgun now for Brady. They complete it to Hill. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. And that seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Bravo! Hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, huh?
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Second and 11 at the 33-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Check three. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Check three.
On second down, it's Pollard. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's go.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now is Brady. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Jackson, reload!
To throw, it's Brady. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down.
We got 4.
To throw is Brady. And that will be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Shadow! Let's go, regular.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
Set, hut, 54. Get your swarm on.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
And there it is, that symbol that ends a game that one team loves and the other team can't stand. Taking a knee, and guess what? The visitors came in and got it done. Wild card round, first step on their way trying to get to the Super Bowl.
First step indeed. They're underdogs. We'll see if they can continue to make some noise in the playoffs, but a good first step. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.